All right, Austin, as somebody that likes to defer credit and give your teammates credit, it looked like they weren't going to allow it there. They just surround you, give you the basketball. What does that moment feel like for you?
It means a lot. We play basketball for those moments for team success, and these guys have, we hang out 90% of the time together. Like, a lot of people don't realize that you're on the road so much, you're in the gym so much, that these people literally become family, and I go to war for them any day. So for them to treat me like that, they're special. I mean, we're down Luka, down Bron tonight, Jackson as well, and could have been very easy for us to come in here and lay down. And that's not what the coaching staff has instilled in us. So it was special.
All right, so the other Lakers since the year 2000 to score 50 points, it's Kobe, it's Shaq, it's LeBron, and it's AD. Having your name with that kind of a list, you're a kid from Arkansas, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't deserve all that, but
just a fact that you scored 50. That's all.
I did. I mean, but I grew up watching all those guys, and I ain't got no words. Some of the best players to ever play the game.
You could have gotten one more assist, though, to get a triple-double.
I thought Jake was going to go dunk the one, but he let Dennis block him, so I'm going to give him some shit about that. But, I mean, all that matters is we won, and we got another tough one tomorrow night, so a quick turnaround, and, we'll be back at it.
Stu was talking on the broadcast about the fact you only had 2 turnovers, though, and this is after having one last game. I know JJ made that a point of emphasis, but to be on the ball that much, no Luka, no LeBron, how important was that to take care of it?
Very. I think the 2 turnovers come in the first 6 minutes of the game too. Going into games, like tonight, I was going to have to be a little more aggressive without those guys, and that's a main focal point. I can get loose with the ball every now and then, and just to be able to give our team the best opportunity to score on every possession is what we needed, and everybody chipped in tonight. DA played amazing. We had a lot of really good performances.
Thanks, Austin. We'll let you go. You probably have to field a lot of text messages tonight.
I might not respond, so if I don't, I'm sorry.
JJ, I think we saw how the players kind of felt about Austin, that kind of mobbing him right on the court after that performance. But what stood out the most to you, and what have you gotten to know about Austin that kind of makes that a moment for you? What did you recognize out of that?
He was fantastic. Did a little bit of everything for us tonight, all over the place. Scored the basketball at an incredible level, but just his tenacity to compete. Like, it's so apparent every single day he's in the gym. He just loves competition. He thrives on competition. We talked about it a little bit towards the end of last season, and then right after the regular season. This is a small town kid from Arkansas who went undrafted, who last year averaged a 20 ball in the NBA, and just had a 50 ball. These moments are incredible for him. I think his teammates see that. I know as a coaching staff, we see that. He just lives in the moment, and he's ready for every single moment that comes. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be around him every day.
Just what kind of energy and uplift does that give a group, especially with the guys that you're missing and that you can carry here for a little
I thought it was all our guys. I mean, the big challenge before the game was just playing with our edge. We finally, I was like waiting for it in the preseason. Didn't feel like we had it against Golden State. Didn't start with it against Minnesota. I thought we had it all night tonight. They have a ton of offensive weapons. They can score the basketball. Our resolve, our tenacity on the glass. When we were getting hurt, we had 3-4 guys trying to sandwich rebound on Sabonis. Like they're a tough team to compete against. And I just thought our guys brought an edge, and it wasn't just Austin leading that. DA was great. Vando, Smart, Gabe before he got hurt. All those guys, and then Jake and Rui just hit some big shots for us in that fourth quarter.
JJ, we got a glimpse of your post-game speech. It's your favorite thing when we get to see it after game 2, and it was something along the lines of, this is a reference point that we can look back at. Considering Luka being out, Gabe having to leave the game, did you earn another reference point tonight, and what can you point to?
Well, I do think for this group, it's important to know that you can win a basketball game without those 2 guys. Our group last year knew that, because we did it. And AR had some huge games for us offensively. We nearly beat Denver on the road without those guys. So the guys that were on the team last year, I think, believed already, but it's important for us as a group to understand that like we have enough good basketball players to win games when two of our best players are out.
Coach Rick, I only have one question. DeAndre Ayton, 22 points, 15 rebounds, really controlled the boards under there. You know, he didn't have to deal with DeMontis tonight. What do you think about his play tonight? He's been looking really good for you guys.
Yeah, he just keeps getting better every single day that he's with this group. I thought the pick and roll stuff was really good tonight. His pocket decision making was really good. Love seeing him get 15 rebounds, but you know, I think offensively that was his best night.
How did you feel like the team? You mentioned it wasn't just Austin, but how did you feel like the team used maybe Sacramento's more aggressive defensive schemes on Austin late in the game? I think it was like Jake, Rui, and DeAndre all were able to score off of that late.
Yeah, we were ready for it. We were ready for it. It's something, you know, we show on film, we do breakdowns. We've worked on it a ton over the last 10 days. Typically, we're doing it to get ready for teams blitzing Luka. So, you know, once we saw, you know, the initial one, they actually didn't blitz. He was up to blitz, and then DA kind of slipped out of there, and he got a little bit in no man's land. So coming out of that next time out, we were ready for it, and you know, I thought the guys did a great job of execution all night long, particularly, you know, in the fourth quarter. Off of the blitzes, you know, drew up an ATO for Jake to get that layup. That was another great example of our execution. And it's 2 games in a row offensively for us that we've played high level basketball. Still got some things to work through right now, particularly if Gabe is going to be out, you know, with just ball handling. I mean, it's asking a lot of AR to be the sole ball handler the whole game and get pressured full court and have to offensively create. So it's just something we'll have to figure out with our rotation in the short term.
JJ, just follow up on that. What do you know about Gabe? How is he doing?
I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything. Yeah, we'll know more tomorrow.
And then also, you mentioned that playing with that edge. Was there a moment, whether it was pregame or during the game, when you really saw that this team was ready to play and had that edge that you were looking for today?
I saw it right away. It wasn't a singular moment. Talk about our shifts. Made a couple defensive mistakes in the first half, but you know, a lot of what they got in the first half was our turnovers. You know, at 30 points in the paint, 14 of those were in transition off of our turnovers. So I felt like if we could sustain that level of play in terms of our effort and our talk and our shifts and all that stuff, and continue to execute on the offensive end, then we'd have a chance to win, and that's what we did.
JJ, assuming Gabe's out for a little while, as of today, you had 8 healthy full contract players. You mentioned sort of the tenacity to compete. What did you see trickle down from him on that front, the tenacity front from this group?
I just think you need something to galvanize the group, to give the group belief. Austin led on that tonight. And frankly, you know, I think the play of Vando and Smart was up there too. They led. They made the group believe we could get a big win on the road.
Luka Doncic remains confident, but knows the Lakers must solve their third quarter struggles. The Los Angeles Lakers may have come up short in their season opener against the Golden State Warriors, but one thing is undeniable: Luka Doncic looks ready to deliver his best season yet. In his debut for the Lakers, the superstar exploded for 43 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals in a hard-fought 10-point loss. Even in defeat, Doncic reminded everyone exactly why he's considered one of the league's most gifted players, and a serious MVP contender this season. After an off-season that boosted his confidence and focus, Luka looked every bit like the player Lakers fans hoped for. Still, as fierce a competitor as he is, Doncic doesn't take much comfort in personal stats when the team walks away with a loss. Even so, his belief in himself and his teammates hasn't wavered. After the game, Doncic made it clear that while the Lakers showed promise, they still have work to do, particularly when it comes to their recurring third-quarter issues. Obviously, we've got a lot of games ahead, 81 more, and of course we want to win every single one, Luka said after the game. There were a lot of positives tonight, And of course, plenty of things we need to fix, especially in the third quarter. We've got to figure that out. But my confidence is great. The third quarter slump has been a long-standing problem for the Lakers, one that predates Donic's arrival in Los Angeles. Head coach J.J. Redick has already emphasized that the team needs to address it if they want to reach their full potential, because until the Lakers can sustain their intensity after halftime, they'll keep leaving wins on the table. Still, there's a sense of optimism inside the locker room. The Lakers believe their struggles come down to execution, not effort, and those are problems that can be fixed. Doncic continues to trust that this group has what it takes to compete with any team in the league. Veteran guard Austin Reaves, who's seen these same issues in past seasons, echoed that sentiment, and took accountability on behalf of the players. "It's on us," Reaves said. "It's not about the coaches, it's about execution. We've got to come out stronger after halftime and keep that same energy." For Doncic and the Lakers, the message is simple: the potential is real, the belief is strong, and the goals haven't changed. If they can finally solve their third quarter problem, this team might just become the powerhouse everyone expects them to be. In the days following the loss, conversations around the Lakers have centered not only on Donic's dazzling debut, but also on the team's recurring inconsistency coming out of halftime, an issue that has quietly shadowed the franchise through multiple seasons. J.J. Redick didn't shy away from addressing it in his post-game comments. The rookie head coach, now navigating his first NBA season from the sidelines, was measured but firm in his assessment. "We came out flat in the third," Redick admitted. "It's been a theme we've talked about, and we've got to start matching urgency with execution. Luka gave us everything tonight, that's not the issue. We need collective focus when the momentum shifts. That's something we can control." Redick's remarks echoed what both Doncic and Reaves had already emphasized. The problem isn't talent, it's rhythm, communication, and accountability. The Lakers' first two quarters against Golden State showed flashes of dominance, with crisp ball movement and strong defensive rotations. But after halftime, the energy dipped, and the Warriors capitalized, turning a close contest into a double-digit gap the Lakers couldn't close. Around the league, analysts and former players have taken notice. ESPN's post-game panel praised Donic's effort but raised questions about the team's chemistry and adjustment speed under Redick's new system. Several pointed out that while Luka's numbers were staggering, the Lakers' offense seemed overly reliant on him down the stretch. Longtime NBA analyst Tim Legler described it bluntly. "Luka's doing everything, scoring, facilitating, rebounding, but he can't be the only source of fire. The Lakers need someone else to stabilize those third quarters. Whether that's Reaves, Davis, or one of the role guys, somebody has to step up when defenses start loading up on Luka." Inside the locker room, however, the mood wasn't one of panic. Teammates spoke with calm determination, aware that early season struggles are part of building chemistry. Anthony Davis, who finished with a quiet 18 points and 9 rebounds, acknowledged that he needs to play with more aggression alongside Doncic. "We've got to complement each other better," Davis said. "Luka's been incredible, but we can't just stand around and watch him go to work. When we move, cut, and defend together, we're tough to beat. We'll fix it." The Lakers will have a quick chance to prove that. Their next matchup, a home game against the Phoenix Suns, offers a test of how quickly the team can adjust, particularly against another Western Conference contender with elite firepower. For Doncic, though, the message remains unchanged. Confidence, accountability, and leadership are his focus points. The 25-year-old knows that the Lakers' success won't come from highlight reels, but from consistency, possession by possession. "It's early," he said quietly after practice 2 days later. "We've got everything we need in this locker room. We just have to play smarter, especially after halftime. Once we fix that, I think people will see what this team can really do." If there's one thing the league has learned about Luka Doncic over the years, it's that he rarely lets frustration linger for long. The challenge now isn't proving how good he can be, it's proving how far he can take this Lakers team with him.